Hello and welcome back to another video. A pretty low scoring game week as most of the big hitters failing to return. If you did own Tony, Salah, Solanke or Sa, who I mentioned in my wildcard video, then you probably did have a green arrow. In this video we are going to look at our team selection ahead of Game Week 12, the transfer plans and thoughts going into the game week. If you missed a Game Week 12 watchlist video, make sure you watch that after. It will be on screen at the end. Let's jump in and starting off with a look back at how Game Week 11 went. 38 points all out, a red arrow down to 456,000 because of the lack of any of the players I mentioned previously. Trippier missed out on a third 7-pointer in a row, just falling short of getting a bonus point. The goalless draw also meant Pope ended the game week with 6 points. Cancelo had a poor game and as a result of his mistake, Mohamed Salah broke his duck. The new transfer Webster didn't return immediately after conceding 2 goals to Tony. Mitrovic my only other return after he scored a pen and got 1 bonus to show for it. Haaland captain and his first blank of the season after he missed the clear header for his standards. Bruno once again disappointing as he fails to return and picks up a yellow card to rub salt to the wounds. That's his third blank in 3 games I've owned him this season. Let's now look at how the team is shaping up. I own 4 Arsenal and Man City players that have a blank this game week. Thus I am forced to bench 3. As you can see Haaland in the starting 11, I will be fielding 10 for Game Week 12. In goal, Pope at home to Everton. This is one of the easier keeper decisions as Everton have been one of the poorest attacking teams in the league. Newcastle have a 37% chance of a clean sheet according to the Fantasy Football Hub fixture ticker. Moving on to defenders. Trippier missed out on his third consecutive 7-pointer after just falling short of a bonus point against Manchester United in Game Week 11. I did mention in my previous video that he is fixture proof and he proved that yet again returning against Man United. He has now returned in 8 of the 10 games he has played this season, which looks a great value for a defender who was just priced at 5 million at the start of the season. Trippier is now top amongst all defenders for expected assists, big chances created and key passes. He also does take all the corners for a Newcastle side who are good at attacking set pieces. Webster failed to return instantly last week against Brentford, but I truly brought him in for this fixture. The targeting fixture has changed over the season from Bournemouth to Forest. Webster top for expected goal involvements for Brighton defenders, and he is least owned of all of them. An insane value at 4.5 million. Next up is my first of 3 transfers this week and it's Guehi in for Reece James. Due to recent long-term injury concerns for the Chelsea wing-back, I had to bring in someone who has already proven themselves this season and was quite cheap to allow funding for my other transfers this game week. I have lined up for 4 at the back so as to field 10 and my only option was Nico Williams. Honestly, I would rather start 9 and not have to play Nico as a fixture against the Brighton side who are looking to bounce back from the recent loss against Brentford. The scoreline could get ugly in this one. Andreas has been reliable whenever needed this season to chip in with the returns and he has 1 goal and 1 assist in the last 2 games where he came on from the bench for most of the managers around. He is still the best value cheap midfielder for your bench. Maddison did his 2 million managers dirty with him picking up a yellow card for a dive in the 94th minute against Palace in Game Week 11. He did only have 2 yellows in Game Week 8 and his 3 yellow cards in a row meant he got suspended for the game we needed him most. Trossard comes in for him this week for me as a 1-week punt against the most targetable fixture at the moment, Nottingham Forest. Brighton's new boss did mention that Lallana will be starting this game week, so it's either Trossard, March or Gross to sit out for this one. I'm willing to take the risk for this one however as he was subbed off quite early against Brentford in Game Week 11. Up next is Zaha, who did score in both the fixtures against Wolves last season, so I hope he could continue that form. His 3.6 XG is on par with Martinelli and only bettered by the Egyptian king. Speaking of Salah, he is my last transfer in this week for a -4 hit. I bring him in for a very disappointing Bruno. He has blanked in all the 3 games he featured in my team for, and it's time to move on from him. Salah did play quite central against City on Sunday and hopefully with Jota injured he could maintain that position. He will also be getting the armband from me. The final one in my team is Mitrovic. We did get lucky with him featuring last week and he did score a pen on his return back from injury. His ownership has dropped since his injury, and that is good for the most part, as he is almost a differential at this stage of the game. Only Haaland and Jesus have taken more than Mitrovic's 13 shots inside the box this season, even though he did miss one game out injured. This is my final game week 12 team after 3 transfers. Before you go, remember to like the video and hit subscribe for more FPL content throughout the season to help you win your mini leagues. See you soon for the next one.